in man-to-man coverage, and it's a talented and explosive offense that we faced, and we didn't do much to slow them down today. In special teams, we talked that we needed that to be a big impact for us. We weren't really able to get our return game going. But other than that, I mean, it's just not a performance that is reflective of what I expected, and obviously. We got a lot of work to do within our program, and we have to continue to learn from these lessons, these opportunities, and obviously, we challenged our guys this week to go out there and to push themselves to improve in all aspects, and the same things that have shown up early in the season are still showing up. So we got to reevaluate the way that we are holding guys to that standard of what we expect. And once again, obviously I didn't have the team prepared to play to the level that they're capable of today. So that goes on me, and it will be corrected, and we'll continue to grow and move forward from this point.
Hey, Mike, I'm curious, did this feel like a setback? You mentioned that you felt like you guys were making similar mistakes as maybe you made previously, but after last week, the progress you made, did this feel like a step backwards for the program?
I mean, there were lessons even last week. We won the game last week, but there were still lessons that had to be learned. And we played a really good half of football last week, and we missed out on some opportunities in the second half, and you did some things that are going to cost you, and that showed up today, and you're not going to be successful if those things continue to show up within the way that we play. And so we've got to do a better job making sure that we're finishing plays when we get the opportunity to finish them. We had some drop passes, some missed tackles. We knew that this team had big play capability, and if you let them get in space, there's a chance that they can really make you pay. And obviously that happened with some missed tackles, and obviously it wasn't it did not allow us to play the way that we were capable of. We are a team that is a continued work in progress. So you say a setback. I mean, we understand what it is to play winning football. We've seen it. We've seen flashes of it. We've seen moments. But right now we are not playing consistent enough to be able to sustain that. And we got to continue to work and learn lessons and go get it improved in practice. And it's got to show up there on game day.
Coach, in terms of penalties, I know you talk about penalties and, wanting to decrease during each game. Going forth, what has to be the tactic to make sure that the team is mentally and emotionally in the game to, decrease those false starts, all of those type of issues?
That's something that we've got to continue to work on. And honestly, a choice has to be made. There's not been a day that's gone by that I've been here that there's not been accountability in how and what our standard is. And there's going to continue to be accountability for that. But obviously the message needs to continue to get across, and a choice has to be made. And that's in all aspects of what we're doing.
Jordan Travis, coach, did not seem maybe as bold or daring running the ball, breaking contain as he has in the past. Is he just having to preserve himself a little bit more cautiously than maybe weeks prior?
Jordan was a little banged up there this last week, and did a good job of practicing, working through that. Obviously somebody that's as dynamic with his legs as he is, and being able to extend plays, in those opportunities. We want him to be smart. We want him to, obviously get what he can get. Keep that playmaking ability that he has. But that was part of today.
Was that what led to the quarterback change late in the game?
It was twofold. Obviously Jordan was, a little banged up, and then, also, get an opportunity. Chuba got cleared here this week. I thought it was an opportunity to be able to get him out there, get him some live work, and he's really he's been pushing hard to get back in practice, to get some of those experiences. I think it's a great great learning experience for him. He was able to get out. He got hit a little bit. He was able to work to make some throws and obviously get a sense of the speed of it. Because he missed a good amount of that throughout fall camp and here early in the early part of the season.
I know the long touchdown run by Hawkins was kind of a broken play where he was hemmed up, but a few of their touchdowns, it looked like busts. Was there confusion on defense or lapses in execution, or what was going on there?
There were a handful of times that, as you prepare and you work through the week of what you expect and what you see. I mean, there's times that we were, had pretty good calls into some of these plays, and there were times that we probably could get better situations. But everybody's got to make sure that we're communicating. We have 11 guys playing as one, because when you're playing a zone team that obviously as efficient as they are, and it's a good football team, good backs. But we got to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to win our gaps. And when you get the opportunity to get there and make the play, we got to make the plays. And so there's some things that we'll have to continue to evaluate in all aspects. But it was a little bit of everything today.
You talked about the same mistakes, a lot of the same mistakes, penalties, drops at bad moments, defensive lapses, things like that. I mean, is that something where would you rather it be a lot of the same mistakes each week, or would you rather have different things? Which would be more frustrating, having different things that kind of pop up every week, or dealing with the same things week in and week out?
I want to see growth. I want to see application of lessons that you've learned. And at the end of the day, not been a part of a game or a performance where every person was perfect. There's going to be mistakes that show up. But when you have a point of emphasis of something that needs to get corrected, you have something that you've seen and you've lived that keeps you from being successful and playing to the best of your capabilities. There needs to be a change in that regard. And I can tell you that we're working our tails off at practice every day and meetings and addressing things individually, collectively as a group. And it's in the moment. Right, with all the right intentions, we've got to make sure that we are playing the game the way that it's supposed to be played, and that's with passion, that's with discipline, that's with unbelievable effort, right? And then we got to trust the techniques and the fundamentals of what is what's being taught, and that'll put us in the best position to make the plays. It doesn't guarantee us that we're going to make all the plays, but it'll put us in the best position, and that's something that has to show up more consistently within this football team.
The TV crew mentioned that Coach Dugans and James Blackman both are dealing with illnesses. Was that limited to those guys, or has it been anything that's been a bigger factor throughout the team this week?
No, those guys are dealing with illness and didn't make the trip.
Even though in spite of today's outcome, there were a few good plays. There were some good plays tonight. What advantages did you build on to exploit on their weaknesses?
Well, obviously as you go through the game, there's going to be good plays and there's going to be plays that you got to learn from. I think some of the positive experiences for some of our young guys, I think, seeing Lawrence get back out there and be able to make an impact, obviously having an opportunity, we kind of had to get into the depth, at some positions, but seeing guys, working hard to try to get better, to try to grow. I mean, we're playing a lot of young kids. I mean, there's, you look out there, Sidney Williams, you play a lot of snaps there at safety. As a true freshman, we're really, pushing these guys to come along and develop. I mean, that's part of our process, and it's part of our growth. I think we've shown that we can play at a very high level. We just need to do that more consistently, and we're going to go back to work and make sure that we're doing the things necessary and to be able to let that show up for 60 minutes on Saturday.
Last one's going to Aslan.
Coach, we talked about the effort level, the aggressiveness that your front played with against North Carolina, how they kind of built on that. Did Louisville, with the waggle kind of bootleg stuff they were running with their quarterback, did they sort of, I don't know, rope-a-dope that part of the defensive line in and to create the big plays? Was it the aggression almost too much maybe? I
mean, I thought, I think that, every game you have a plan of what you're trying to do. Obviously, we've got to execute ours, better than what we did today. But there's times that, we've got to make, obviously make the plays and make sure we're putting our guys in the best position to be successful throughout the course of the game. And, that's something they had a good plan. They, obviously they're good coaches, and, we're able to attack us in a couple different ways, but, we have to play aggressive football. We've got to give relentless effort. We've got to make sure that we're relying on the fundamentals and the techniques of what we're teaching, of what you work throughout the course of the week. And then you got to go out there and you play with unbelievable passion. And, that's showing up, in spurts. But like I said, we got to make sure that we do a better job of being more consistent. And I can promise you that we're going to continue to work there in practice to get that established. And that's all that we can do is continue to work and keep our head down and work to improve in all aspects of our program and what we're trying to accomplish.
Thank you, Coach.